Hi there, I'm Gabriel Morris. I'm a world traveler and an author of several books, including Following My Film, A Decade of Unabashed Wanderlust, which chronicles my travels throughout the 1990s with 26 different adventurous, exciting, humorous, fun, funny, ridiculous travel stories of mine. If you're looking for some interesting reading material, feel free to check the link down below this video. It's available on Amazon.com as both a paperback and a ebook, and most likely it's on sale. This video is going to be a story of some adventures of mine from a couple of days ago. I'm now in a little village called Chitrakoot, and at the end of this video, then I'll grab the camera and pan around the scene here. It's quite a picturesque scene of a little river with boats going down it. But getting here was quite a trial, to say the least. This was 2 days ago, and I came from another little village called Khajuraho, where I'd stayed for 9 days. And getting here, then I'd been told you could take several buses, go to the next town, take a bus, go to the next town, take a bus, and I figured it'd take, 4 hours or something like that. So I get all packed up, I hit the road, as it were, and walk over to the bus station, which was just a couple minutes walk away from my hotel room. And I've been told that I should take a bus to the nearby town of Bamita, which was just about 5 miles away, and it was a larger town, and I'd have a better chance of catching a bus from there to the next town of Pana, and then from Pana I could catch another bus up to Chitrakoot. So I get to the bus station, and there's no buses around. Khajuraho is a very, very tiny little village, and this auto rickshaw driver comes up to me and says, "Oh, bus, it's going to be a while, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I take you to Bamita." And I said, no, I don't want to pay the extra expense. And he said, oh, that's only 100 rupees. That's about $2 US. So I was like, well, okay, let's do it. I'll get on the road, get going. It's only $2. I don't need to, pinch every penny here. So I hop in his rickshaw and we head down the road. And about 10 minutes later, we're maybe halfway to the destination, the first destination. This taxi drives by and passes us, and I see the taxi driver kind of look over at the rickshaw and see me, and then he kind of passes us, and then he pulls back, rolls down his window, and then says something to my rickshaw driver. I'm kind of annoyed at this point. I'm figuring probably it's something to do with he saw a foreigner in the rickshaw and he wants to take me and charge me a whole lot for a taxi ride. So my rickshaw driver pulls over, and then the taxi guy comes over and talks to my rickshaw driver, and I'm pretty annoyed at this point. I just want to keep going. And the rickshaw driver comes to me and in his broken English explains, this taxi guy, his taxi empty. He's going Pana, your next destination. He takes you only 50 rupees. 50 rupees, that's $1. That's like nothing. The destination of Pana is another 25 miles away. So this will really save me some time from having to wait for the next bus. Buses are slow, they stop, etc. So this is great. So I pay the rickshaw driver only 50 rupees because he only took me halfway. And then I hop in the taxi, and then I tell him, well, I'm going to pay you 100 rupees because this is just $1 is just too cheap, so I'll pay you $2. So we continue on down the road. It's a brand new car, really smooth ride. I'm totally digging it. He drops me off in Pana, so I've already covered a good chunk of my distance, and then from there I'm going to be catching a bus to Chitrakoot. So from the bus station in Pana, I get on a bus that's headed in the direction of Chitrakoot. I'm led to understand that it's not going direct to Chitrakoot. I will have to get off and change at another location along the way. But that's all right. Things are moving along fairly well. So I hop on that next bus, and it's super packed. There's like 4 guys hanging out the door. I got a pretty cool video of them hanging out the door as we're driving down the road. And then I end up sitting next to this rather large guy who's kind of squeezing me. But it's all right. I survived that bus, get off at the next destination, hop on another bus, and cruising along, and I'm starting to get a little tired out because it's taking a little longer than expected. But as I understand it, this bus is going to Chitrakoot, so I just have to, survive this bus ride, and then I'm there. So the bus stops at one point, and this little boy on the bus comes up to me and sort of starts talking at me very kind of intensely, and then he's trying to grab my bag, and he's trying to tell me I should get off the bus if I want to go to Chitrakoot. And the conductor was sitting right next to me, and he didn't say anything about this, and so I'm getting annoyed at this boy. I just like, go away, I'll listen to the conductor. Finally I come to understand that indeed I do need to get off this bus and catch another bus or whatever from there. So I grab my backpack, get off, and then this boy leads me over to this Jeep that's right behind the bus. And he says, this Jeep, Chitrakoot. And then a man is there too, and he confirms this. And so they tie my backpack up on top of the Jeep. I get in, and then there's a few other people in there. We all wait for a while for a few more people to get in. And then the little boy jumps in the driver's side seat of this Jeep and starts shifting the gears and acting like he's about to drive the thing. And I'm like, what the hell? Nobody really speaks English, but I make it clear, like, I'm not going anywhere if this boy is driving this 12-year-old boy is driving this Jeep. And a woman next to me kind of laughs and makes it clear, oh, he's just messing around. So finally he gets out, and the other man hops in, and we hit the road. But this Jeep ride ends up being just torturous. The guy's just stopping every few minutes to try to load more people into the Jeep or to let people out of the Jeep. It's just taking forever. And the people, they don't talk to each other, they yell at each other. I mean, it was an open-air Jeep, but still, it was just this constant yelling back and forth. And I'm just worn out at this point and just want to get to my destination. And at one point, then the guy pulls over, and he ends up getting into this huge argument with two of his riders, to the extent it almost looks like they're going to get in a fight. And finally I like yelled, like, let's just get going, and which didn't really help much, but finally they resolved their dispute, and we kept going, and eventually we get to this junction, and we stop there. And then I'm told, actually, this is not Chitrakoot, you now have to take an auto rickshaw to Chitrakoot, which is only 5-6 kilometers away, so at least we're almost there. But at this point, it's 2 auto rickshaws, a Jeep, a taxi, and 2 buses to cover what was probably 100 to 150 miles. So I hop in this auto rickshaw, we putter on down to Chitrakoot. There's a little dispute over the fare, because I was sure he'd said 20 rupees and then he asked for 30, but 10 rupees, I'm not going to make an issue out of it. So finally I'm in Chitrakoot, where I am at the moment. It's evening, the place is totally packed. There's just tons of people in the streets. And so I'm a little bit worried, because I know it's a very small little town. It's not touristy at all. There aren't really that many hotels, because I was here once before. And so I'm a little concerned about finding a room for the night. So I start walking around asking people. Somebody recommends one hotel, I go there, they're full. Someone recommends another hotel, it's both expensive and it's full. I'm walking away from there, and I see a group of 4 or 5 other Western travelers. And so I run up to them and say, hey guys, where are you guys staying? Can you recommend a hotel? And they say, oh, come with us. And so I follow them to their hotel, and he has 3 rooms left. So I grab one, and then I learn later that it turns out that there's only 3 hotels in the town that will accept foreigners, foreign travelers as guests, and the other 2 were full. And this one, the sign is in Hindi. I probably wouldn't have seen it, so I don't know where I would have ended up sleeping for the night if I hadn't happened to see those other guys. Then the final little sort of insult for the day was I'm taking a shower later that evening with a bucket. It's just a bucket, hot bucket of hot water, and the power goes out while I'm in the middle of the shower, and I'm plunged into darkness, just pitch darkness. And afterwards, I'm like searching around for my towel, which it turns out was outside in the room. But everything worked out. I ended up clean. I ended up in a room with an awesome mattress. It was fairly quiet, and it was a long day, but I survived. So there you go. That's one interesting day in India. Thanks for watching. And now I'll just show what the scene here looks like. the Mandakini River, I believe it's called. I could be wrong there, but something that starts with an M. Here in Chitrakoot, India. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care.